Against the background of heavy losses of the Israeli army in manpower and heavy equipment during the ongoing ground operation in the Gaza Strip, the Russian army continues to deliver targeted missile strikes on the territory of Ukraine, destroying the last remaining ammunition depots, which for a long time did not allow Moscow to put a final end to the agony of the armed forces of Ukraine. Military experts recognized the Russian missile strike on the 47th Arsenal of the Armed Forces of Ukraine in the southeastern part of the Khmelnytskyi Oblast as the most powerful not only during all time of the current conflict, but also in the entire history of wars since the beginning of the 1950s of the last century. The fact is that Western air defense systems again failed to stop the strike of Russian hypersonic KINZHAL missiles, and the subsequent detonation of ammunition caused a powerful explosion, the shockwave of which reached the Khmelnytskyi nuclear power plant, located 30 kilometers from the ammunition depot. Military experts note that such a powerful explosion was caused by the detonation of not only American ballistic missiles for HIMARS systems, but also depleted uranium shells. Meanwhile, analysts from the Center for Eastern European Studies recognized that the Russian missile strike on the arsenal of the Ukrainian armed forces in the Khmelnytskyi Oblast was not only the most successful in terms of destroyed Western weapons, but also the most powerful ever recorded on the territory of Western Ukraine. At the same time, European military analysts were amazed at the accuracy of the Russian missiles. It is worth noting that even the leadership of the Khmelnytskyi region was forced to admit that there were no recorded deaths among the civilian population. Military experts are confident that this missile strike will be the beginning of the end of the Kyiv regime. The fact is that the Russian army chose a very suitable moment for this missile attack. Experts note that against the background of a catastrophic shortage of ammunition, the armed forces of Ukraine began to experience difficulties not only in carrying out offensive actions, but also in creating defensive structures on strategically important sections of the front. Moreover, military analysts are sure that the arsenal of the Ukrainian armed forces destroyed in the Khmelnytskyi Oblast was the last remaining ammunition depot. Insiders in the office of the Ukrainian president note that the Kyiv authorities are literally begging the United States to correct the situation and transfer the necessary amount of ammunition to the Ukrainian army. However, the outbreak of conflict in the Middle East seems to have put an end to all the hopes of the Ukrainian regime. In addition to this, Russian military intelligence continues to identify and successfully destroy the last warehouses of Western weapons, depriving the armed forces of Ukraine of any possibility of resistance. Meanwhile, American journalists from the news website Axios conducted their own investigation and stated that the United States still handed over to Israel a batch of ammunition intended for Ukraine. According to them, a number of Israeli officials confirmed the information that a batch of 155mm artillery shells was sent to Israel amid the difficulties faced by the Israel Defense Forces during the ground operation in the Gaza Strip. At the same time, it is worth noting that U.S. officials refused to confirm or deny the results of the investigation of the American news website. Whatever it was, even the most optimistic pro-Ukrainian bloggers and experts recognize the fact that the war in the Middle East has radically changed the U.S. attitude to the Ukrainian crisis, and that with all the desire, Washington will not be able to overpower simultaneous assistance to Kyiv and Tel Aviv. And Moscow, realizing all this, is preparing to strike a decisive blow, so that outside forces do not prevent the Kremlin from achieving all its goals in Ukraine.